Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Santa Anita Park here on Thursday. It is the 2nd of November 2023. Gonna look at the fifth race from Santa Anita, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world. I mean it, around the world. Remember to check out my Breeders' Cup preview for this weekend. I'm hoping that video will be up for Friday, should be up on Wednesday the latest. Maybe Tuesday, but don't go to the bank on that. I'm telling you right now. But let's look at this fifth race here on this special Thursday program from the Great Race Place, which I think is it's a good card. And this fifth race is a very interesting turf race. So let's get to it right now. It is an allowance optional claimer per $65,000. Race for 3-year-olds and upwards. Never won $18,000 twice in the main claim starter. Stab bred racer, which never went through races. Optional claim price of $80,000. 7 horses are going to the turf course. The distance of ground of 1,800 meters, if you want to go by that, or the 1.125 trip on the Santa Anita turf course. Portable rails are up at 30 feet, so they're quite far out, saving the inner portions of the turf course for the big racing this weekend. Something I've noticed, I've watched not so much Santa Anita, but the last few days I've been watching it this weekend. But something I did notice. This turf course looks very eaten up, very chewed up. So, going into Breeders' Cup, I don't want to see a turf course like that, but hopefully it plays well. I'm going to go with 3 hours Arligato as the top selection. I'm going to go 3-5-1-4 in the superfecta. 3-5-1-4 super, top selection 3 horse Alligato, 6-year-old Gillen by Kitten's Joy, Mark Glatt trains, Frankie Dettori gets the mount, and I've been saying since last, January, February that Frankie Dettori is not going to retire. I said, knowing him, he'll probably come to the States and ride full time next year, and I was right. I don't want to be an asshole, but I was right. But not being a narcissist here, but I was right. But Alligato is the most recent out again, the 8th of October at Santa Anita, mile and 8th and option 50 claimer, and he finished second by a half a length that day, and he just kind of stalked all the way around the race course. He had a bit of a trouble trip early on, but he was a little bit wide, but he was gaining late. I didn't think it was a half bad race. I think with a smaller field, hopefully being a little bit more forwardly, early on in his career he was somewhat forwardly, but coming here today, I think he, off of some, getting Frankie up, I think he'd get a good trip to win. He was running first off the bench prior to that 9th of September at Del Mar, mile and option 40. Finished second by 1/4 lengths that day, and he was just a little bit wide. He needed something more that day, but I didn't think he ran half bad off the bench. And then mid-March at Santa Anita, mile and a quarter allowance race 76,000. He finished third by 2 1/4 lengths that day. He was wide. He needs something more. I would like to see him run over a mile and a quarter again in the future, but, I thought it was a decent effort there. And then mid-February over the mile and allowance race, 75,000, finishing third by length. Again, he needed something more, but again, he got around the race course well. He's won twice. Once on debut here, going 6.5 on the oval turf course in October 2021 quite nicely, and came back to win here in early January 2022 in the Turf Classic, the California Cup Turf Classic, winning by 1 3/4 lengths. Not the best beginnings that day, but he was really gaining. Nearly won the Turf Classic again earlier this season, where he finished second by a knock behind Kalanga Road, who really took off clear. If I'm not mistaken, I think Frankie rode the horse to victory also. Kalanga rode, Flavian rode this horse in the last 2 Turf Classics. But he's training well. I think he get a good trip. I'm going to use him on the ticket. I think your second likeliest winner here is the 5 horse Percolate for Michael McCarthy and Umberto Rispoli. Hasn't been seen since early January or mid-January in a start allowance race on this turf course. Over the mile, winning by a half length from a tracking trip. I thought he ran terrifically that day. Prior to the option 40 at Del Mar of the mile 16th, again, winning by a length that day, a little bit wide, but he closed up from mid-pack quite nicely. That was the key. He had a very good poster at Del Mar, and then he had 2 starts actually at Del Mar during the fall, which is quite rare, and quick turnaround of about 9 days prior, going a mile and a start allowance race, finishing second by a head. He just missed late. He had a very troubled trip, but he ran his heart out that day. There he had a horrible poster, 8 of 10. What can you do? But he's training well as of recently. I'm going to give him a shot back to this turf course. He could be forwardly paced in this race, which wouldn't be half bad. It looks like it could lack some speed. But to recount my selection for the 5th from Santa Anita, I'm going to take the 3 horse Alligato, give kudos to the 5 horse Percolate, 3-5-1-4 super, 3-5 in our multi-race. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.